So thanks. Look, diversity and inclusion, when we published the Everyday Respect report, it really highlighted for us how much work we had to do. And I think, like, we're realistic. Any mining company in the world, any heavy industry would understand that there's always challenges when you don't have a fully diverse workforce. And I know this, I've 26 years in the mining industry, I've experienced it myself. But what it brought out was just so serious, and it demonstrated to us that we absolutely have to do something completely different. And so we're going to be on a journey probably for the next 10 years talking about this. But if you don't understand you have a problem, then you're not going to look for solutions. So for us, it's a really key part around our values and who we are to really address that with care and with courage, and also find out what's really going on and try and make people's lives and our business somewhere they really want to be. I think ESG means so many different things to different people. I love the conversation we've had this week about what does ESG mean. There's different facets of it, and I really think as an industry we've just got to get really clear, and the ICMM I think are doing some of this work as well, and so are the Church of England, around what does it actually mean to define what good practice looks like. And so when we talk about ESG, we've had a lot of talk about climate change, and I think people are all on a similar journey now. Now we're talking about diversity and inclusion a lot more. We've talked about mental health. We start to talk about environment and safety, and it's all of those things. And I think as an industry, I'd love to see us over the next few years really talk holistically around ESG, and consistently as well. Oh, look, the mining industry at the moment, there's such a demand for minerals like I've never seen before. And somebody asked me that this morning, and they said, have you ever seen this pull? And we haven't. And I think for us, what's really important is, as we try and grow, we look for new materials. Electric vehicles are going to involve an awful lot more materials than we currently produce, that we be really thoughtful and careful around how we produce and where, and how do we build economies while doing that. So I don't know, I think we've talked about it in many different forms at Indaba. I've no idea what the solution is, but I do think we need to be really, really clear from an ESG perspective, but also from a building economies, building skills, building capability, before people rush in for what we called on the ministerial symposium, the scramble for Africa. I love, for Mining Indaba to be a success, look, for me personally and for Rio Tinto, I think we want people to know who we are and what we do. And I think we've often focused in the past on the what and not on the how. And so I want people to see us as a partner. I want people to actually want us involved and be seen as good neighbours. But for the industry, I think there was so many clear challenges outlined from people around how do they make mining a success in different countries. We talked about infrastructure, we've talked about the need for governments to work with private partners to try and develop some of these opportunities. And so I'd really like to see next year the conversations shifting in Indaba to talk about some of the successes.